Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a huge shift in how social media works. Seriously, the old rules, they're basically going to be obsolete by 2026. So stick around because we're breaking down the brand new playbook you're going to need to win.
We've got this broken down into 4 parts. First up, we'll get into why the game is changing so dramatically. Then, we'll hand you the new strategy, show you the tools to make it happen, and finally, talk about the new way you have to measure success.
Let's jump right in. The way people find pretty much everything. Products, services, simple answers, it's being totally rewired right now. The starting line for discovery? It's moved. For 20 years, discovery started with someone typing a question into a search bar. They had a specific need. Well, that's all shifting to a passive scroll through these algorithmic feeds. And this is so important. People aren't looking for you anymore. The algorithm is putting you right in front of them.
And just so you know, this isn't some small trend. We're talking about a massive migration. Just think about this number for a second. YouTube alone is handling over 3 billion searches a day. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok are right there with it. They are, for all intents and purposes, the new search engines.
So why is this shift happening? Why is it so powerful? Well, it all comes down to authenticity. Social search feels more real. You're finding content from actual people, from communities you trust. You get to see someone actually using a product, not just reading some sterile description of it.
And that brings us to the most critical point of all. Your first interaction with a potential customer, it's now happening right in their feed, probably when they're sitting on their couch, not even thinking about you. Their entire journey of discovery and evaluation can start and end right there on the platform.
Okay, so now that we get the shift, let's talk about the new playbook. If discovery has moved from a search bar to an endless scroll, how in the world do you adapt your content so people can actually find you? Here is the big mental leap you have to make. Stop thinking of content as just a bunch of posts you throw out there. You need to start treating it like infrastructure. Think of it as a system, a permanent library you're building designed to be understood by both people and algorithms. Its job is to answer questions and make you look credible instantly.
This new content infrastructure, it really rests on 4 main pillars. You need super clear hooks to stop that scroll. You need captions that are structured so people can skim them. You need rich metadata, hashtags, alt text, the works. And maybe most important of all, you have to use the exact language your audience uses when they're searching.
Let's just double-click on captions for a second, because this is huge. They are not just filler text anymore. They are critical metadata. A really good, well-structured caption is like a direct message to the algorithm, telling it exactly what problem you solve and who the perfect person is to see that solution.
And this slide just captures the language shift perfectly. Vague, fluffy marketing phrases like "unlock your potential," they're basically invisible to these search algorithms. You have to use the direct, problem-focused questions people are actually typing into the search bar, like, "How do I fix this thing?"
The takeaway here is really simple, but it's profound. If an algorithm can't easily figure out what your content is about, it's just not going to get discovered. It's as simple as that. In this new world, structure is every bit as important as creativity.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. Creating all this structured content sounds like a ton of work, right? So how do you actually do it at scale without burning out your team? The answer, my friends, lies in a much smarter AI-powered workflow.
The name of the new game is not production volume, it's distribution efficiency. It's this whole art of taking one really strong idea and making it work way harder for you. You let it fuel your entire content engine by repackaging it for every channel and every context you can think of.
So here's how that process looks in action. You start with one big piece of content, what we call pillar content, maybe a long video or a deep dive blog post. Then you go through and find all these little standalone subhooks. After that, you use AI tools to automatically clip and pull out those key moments, and then you repackage them into shorts, carousels, and posts for all your other platforms.
And look, this is not just some theory. Teams are building these powerful content systems right now using a stack of AI tools just like this. They're automating all that repetitive manual work, which frees up the creative folks to do what they do best. Focus on the big ideas.
I absolutely love this metaphor. Think of your brand as a Rubik's Cube. Right now, most brands are all scrambled up, right? They show a different, confusing face on every platform. The goal of this whole AI-powered system is to solve that cube, to make sure your message is perfectly cohesive and consistent everywhere someone might find you.
Okay, let's move to our final section and really tie all this together. If discovery, evaluation, and all this influence is happening inside the feed, how on earth do you even measure success anymore?
We all have to get really comfortable with operating in what's being called the zero-click world. This is an environment where the most important top-of-funnel impact happens completely invisibly, totally off the radar of your traditional analytics. People are forming opinions and making decisions way before they ever even think about clicking a link to your site.
And this new reality, it demands a completely new scoreboard. We have to shift our focus away from those old metrics like clicks and website traffic and move towards the things that actually signal real influence, like how often your brand is cited as a credible source by the platform itself.
Okay, this brings us to a really crucial idea. Citations are the new currency. Think about it. A click just shows that somebody left the platform to go to your site, but a citation, that shows that the platform itself trusts you as a reliable answer. That is how you build deep, meaningful authority long before anyone thinks about clicking.
So your whole objective shifts completely. You're not just chasing clicks anymore, you're building what's called a semantic presence. That just means becoming so connected to a topic in the eyes of the algorithm that you become the default authority, shaping opinions way upstream from any website visit.
And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. As this digital landscape keeps changing under our feet, the most important choice you can make is deciding which game you're actually going to play. Are you going to spend your energy fighting for clicks that are worth less and less, or are you going to focus on building real, lasting authority?